Welcome to our review on redox reactions. Now the first thing we actually need to do is understand what we're actually talking about when we use the phrase redox. Now, as with a lot of things in chemistry, the name is quite logical, and when we look at it carefully it tells us quite a bit about what's happening. So if we split redox up into two, the RED there tells us that we have a reduction and the OX refers to an oxidation. So a redox reaction is one where we have both a reduction and an oxidation reaction happening at the same time. Now, in terms of our simple way of understanding reduction and oxidation, we look at it in terms of oxygen. So if we are looking at an oxidation reaction, as the name suggests, it's gaining oxygen. If, however, it loses oxygen, then it's referred to as a reduction. So those of you doing the foundation paper, then that is the foundation level that we'd need for reduction and oxidation, just about the gain or loss of oxygen. So one of the best demos that we can do as a redox demo is the thermite reaction. So what we're actually doing here is we start off with aluminium and iron 3 oxide, and then we're going to trigger the reaction into aluminium oxide and iron. So what we're actually doing here, if you look at the balanced equation, which is in the middle, then we start off with aluminium with no oxygen. But in terms of our product, we've got aluminium oxide, so it's gained oxygen. So what we can say is that aluminium is oxidized because it's gained oxygen. Now, just for a little bit of a complexity, it's actually called the reducing agent. If we look at our iron oxide though, we start off with iron joined with oxygen as our reactant, and then in our product we just have iron on its own. So the iron oxide has been reduced because it's lost oxygen, and that means it's acting as the oxidizing agent. So what we mean by reducing agent and oxidizing agent is basically its role in moving the oxygen. So an oxidizing agent is one that's going to give up the oxygen and give it to something else, whereas a reducing agent is the one that's going to then receive the oxygen. So just remember that when we're looking at the overview here, what we have is oxygen being transferred from the iron oxide to the aluminium.